What's up guys? कैसे हैं आप लोग? Welcome to this explainer. आज हम एक बहुत ही माइंड ब्लोइंग टॉपिक उठाने वाले हैं, टिश्यूज इन एक्शन. I mean, have you ever actually stopped to think कि एक सिंगल माइक्रोस्कोपिक सेल आखिर लाइफ कैसे स्टार्ट करता है? लिटरली एक छोटा सा सेल लगातार डिवाइड होके इतना बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिज्म बनाता है. अपनी स्किन, मसल्स, बोन्स, द होल shebang. It's honestly one of nature's greatest engineering marvels for sure. So let's dive right into this biological toolkit and see how these tissues actually work in action.
Alright, तो ये रहा हमारा आज का प्लान. We'll start with life के building blocks. उसके बाद we'll compare plants versus animals. उसके बाद we'll look at plant tissues growth engine or the transporters. Finally, we'll see animal tissues in action and wrap the whole thing up with science and society. Let's go.
Okay, Section 1. Life Key Building Blocks.
So the big question is, how does a single microscopic cell actually form this massive, perfectly coordinated network? कैसे होता है ये सब? Well, the magic phrase here is division of labor. Multicellular organisms में ना एक strict hierarchy होती है. It's kind of like a highly specialized workforce. देखो, एक single cell सारे के सारे काम तो नहीं कर सकता ना. It would just be way too much burden. So the body assigns specific jobs. मतलब सारे cells को अलग-अलग काम बांट देना. Similar cells group together to form a tissue. फिर tissues मिलकर बनाते हैं एक organ, like your heart or your lungs. Then organs work together in an organ system. And finally, all these systems combine to make the complete organism. This division of labor literally makes our body's operations incredibly efficient. It's like a giant puzzle coming together.
Moving on to Section 2, Plants versus Animals.
Now you might be wondering, why do stationary plants need a completely different tissue toolkit compared to us constantly moving animals? I mean, दोनों life forms हैं, right? But actually उनकी basic needs बिल्कुल अलग हैं. Plants एक ही जगह fixed होते हैं, so they absolutely need stiff, rigid support. उनके tissues mostly उन्हें structural strength देते हैं, armed with a rigid cell wall made of cellulose. On the flip side, animals को constantly move करना पड़ता है. Locomotion is key for us. So animal cells basically lack this rigid wall to maintain that much needed cellular flexibility. Plus plants photosynthesize करके अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं, while we animals have a full-blown digestive system to process food from different sources. So the main takeaway here is that an organism's lifestyle literally dictates its tissue structure.
Let's dive deeper into plants. Section 3, Plant Tissues. Growth Engine.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How does a tiny little seedling turn into a massive tree? What exactly is the biological engine driving this continuous growth? Well, the secret engine is something called meristematic tissue. ये वो tissues हैं जिनके अंदर actively dividing cells होते हैं, और ये cells ना लगातार divide करते रहते हैं throughout the plant's entire life. It's crazy. Location के basis पर there are 3 main types. Apical meristem tips पर होता है, root और shoot की length बढ़ाने के लिए. Lateral meristem plant की width यानी उसकी मोटाई या girth बढ़ाता है. And intercalary meristem nodes पर होता है. So let's say अगर कोई animal थोड़ी घास खा जाए, तो the plant can quickly regrow its grazed leaves. How amazing is that? Nature का अपना automatic repair and growth system. Let's actually prove this with a super simple experiment. देखो, in the first setup, the onion roots grow perfectly for 3 days in the water. But in the second one, if you just cut the root tips off, just about 1 centimeter, nothing crazy, the growth completely stops. Literally zero growth. क्यों? Because you just removed the apical meristem. Without those actively dividing cells right at the tips, the roots just cannot grow in length anymore. The proof is right there in front of you.
Alright, next up, Section 4, Plant Tissues, the Transporters.
Okay, so we've seen how they grow, but how do they actually survive? Plants don't have a heart to pump blood, right? No digestive tract either. तो उनकी body में water और food transport कैसे होता है? All the way from the roots up to the leaves. Enter the complex permanent tissues, Xylem and Phloem. Honestly, think of them as a team of different workers doing one massive job, which is conduction. Xylem is basically the water plumbing system. It has tracheids, vessels, parenchyma and fibers सब मिलकर काम करते हैं to pull water and minerals from the roots vertically upwards. Phloem, on the other hand, is the food supply chain. Its sieve tubes and companion cells transport the food prepared in the leaves to every single part of the plant, upwards as well as downwards. It's like different cells with different specific roles, but one common, highly efficient goal.
Back to us now. Section 5, Animal Tissues in Action.
Okay guys, I want you to do a quick activity with me right now. Quickly blink your eyes. Yep, just blink. Now clench your fist really tightly. When you did that, your muscular tissues enabled that physical movement. And when you just thought about doing it, your nervous tissues carried that message directly from your brain at lightning speed. And the joints and blood components you're seeing here, those are your connective tissues. They basically act as the body's essential glue and transport network. Blood transports oxygen around, while bones and cartilage give us structural support. एकदम perfect symphony में सारे tissues मिलकर काम करते हैं.
And hey, we absolutely cannot forget the epithelial tissue. This is literally your body's ultimate protective shield. ये thin, tightly packed cells एक single-layered barrier बनाते हैं to protect all your underlying tissues from mechanical injury and microbes. But wait, that's not all. When you took a deep breath just a minute ago, epithelial cells lining your lungs allowed for the rapid diffusion and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Talk about true biological multitaskers, right?
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, Science and Society.
So you might be asking, why does understanding all these microscopic tissues actually matter for our society? Well, check this out. Notice those massive tumor-like swellings on the tree trunk? They are caused by something called crown gall disease. Ito होता है when a bacterium called Agrobacterium tumefaciens infects the plant and causes rapid, completely uncontrolled cell division. देखने में, it obviously looks like a terrible disease that's just destroying the plant's tissue structure.
But guys, here is the brilliant plot twist. Scientists didn't just stop at trying to cure this disease. No way. They actually studied exactly how this bacterium was transferring its genetic material into the plant cells to cause that rapid growth. And then, they turned this knowledge into a super powerful tool. Today, we use this exact same agrobacterium for genetic engineering in plant tissue culture. We literally use it to introduce useful, beneficial genes into plants to create improved, disease-resistant crops. I mean, they took a literal plant disease and turned it into a genetic engineering tool for human welfare. Mind blown.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. We've gone all the way from the microscopic hierarchy of a single dividing cell to literally genetically engineering crops that can feed entire populations. It really makes you realize just how much incredible potential lies hidden in this biological toolkit of tissues. तो सोचो, और कौन से nature के secrets हम human welfare के लिए use कर सकते हैं? Keep wondering, keep exploring, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.